Oh, and welcome to today's episode of Thrive After 45. I'm Denise Drinkwalter, heart whisperer, midlife mirror, and mentor. And every week, I am absolutely honored to share energy and space with inspiring guests whose stories reflect so many possibilities of thriving beyond 45. Together, we'll uncover the whispers of the heart, the power of midlife transformation, and the wisdom that fuels expansion. What do you discover about yourself when there is no room for panic, performance, or pretending? Only presence, truth, and decisive action. It is such an honor and a privilege to welcome Caroline Elliott to our show today. Caroline has spent over 20 years in ski rescue, with more than a decade inside specialist mountain rescue units, working directly in avalanche response as a search and rescue dog handler. Where pressure is real, communication must be very clean, and leadership is revealed in seconds. This is lived experience, not theory. And today, she is an international keynote speaker and author, carrying those same principles from the mountains into the worlds of snow safety, leadership, and high pressure performance. She has impacted thousands of lives, from children discovering mountain safety through her book, Fjord's Mountain Mission, inspired by her Avalanche dog, Fjord, and now translated into 4 languages, to adults and leadership teams learning how to function clearly when conditions are unstable and the stakes are really high. Most recently, her work has expanded into guiding business teams, translating the realities of avalanche rescue into practical frameworks for decision making, communication, and trust under pressure. She is also in the developmental phase of something very rare: avalanche simulation camps, where teams are deliberately placed under pressure, not to be tested, but to be revealed. Because pressure really doesn't create who we are, it actually ends up showing us exactly who we've been all along. Welcome to our show today, Caroline. I can't wait to have this conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Denise. It's I've been really looking forward to this. It's been great. Thank you.
We have to start with your picture. We have to start with your picture in the background. Is that Fjord?
Yeah, that's Fjord, bless him, when he was on the way to an avalanche training. So that's him going full on to the, is it left of me?
Yeah.
Depends what you look at the screen.
Yeah.
So that's Fjord in full flight mode, so to speak. So yeah, no, great dog, great dog. And yeah, the big snowy mountain behind me is a peak in the Pyrenees, actually, a volcanic peak. So yeah, no, very snowy mountains. Yeah, beautiful place, but
Love it.
potentially very dangerous. But yeah,
I
uh,
totally like
mm, mm,
tell us, how did you get to where you are today? Were you always a skier as a kid? Like, tell us a little bit of your story so we can
mm,
really understand Caroline
mm.
and where she is
Yeah.
today and the incredible capacity you bring to teams.
Yeah, so I started skiing at the age of 10. I was a gymnast before, so I started gymnastics very, very young. And it was just a natural transition from gymnastics onto skis. Balance was there. And
Right.
I was lucky to have a very kind of generous family. And dad was like, take Karen off skiing to my mum. And my dad did not like snow at all. So she took me off to Marybelle, one of the
Okay.
quite well-known resorts in the Alps, and I learned to ski and didn't look back. I absolutely adored it. The
Yeah.
snow, the cold, and I think also my capacity physically to actually take to it like a duck to
Yeah.
water. And yeah, mountains are my happy place. So, and
Mm.
then that progressed on to, do not laugh, ski ballet. So I did ski ballet
Oh,
so 80s.
wow.
Yeah, with my Walkman and my kind of pony stick with my hair at the end.
Oh, yeah,
It
I
was,
love it. I can see
I
it.
know. And there was a very, 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 I was not at a very high level. There's someone called Julia Snell. She actually came to live in Canada, and I believe she married a Canadian. And she was like up there. I
Yeah,
was kind of doing it nationally, but I loved it. The kind of, kind of like, what do you call it? Um, the whirls into a splits into a kind of like arms in
right.
the air, and it was just so
Yeah.
80s. I loved it. So yeah, it was good. Yeah. And then after that, ski instructing. And then from ski instructor, I decided that I love children and I love instructing children, but I've always wanted to help people. So that's kind of
Yes.
the ongoing thing for me, is helping people.
Sure,
So yeah.
sure.
Mm. So I just having
What
my
is,
ear thing dropping out on me.
oh, that's okay. You know what? Things happen
I'm
and we just carry on. We,
I'm just used to kind of just dealing with the situation when it occurs. There's always Caroline is plan B, as in like
yeah,
it's not gone to plan as we trained it. Let's go with plan B or plan C, plan D or whatever. So yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Flexibility
Hmm.
with probably with what you do. You're
Hmm.
talking life-threatening situations.
Hmm. Yeah.
So when we introed and talked about seconds count,
Hmm.
um, I can only imagine the added stress that that puts
Hmm.
on the
Hmm.
team as a whole. How does
Yeah.
that how does that play out?
Because we do know, I mean, statistically, there is studies done where we say 15 minutes, you've got a very good chance of survival in an avalanche.
Okay.
So if you're not actually where that place is, where the avalanche has occurred, you know the time to get in there's going to start ticking from whether it's
Oh,
a transport in with a chairlift or with the road transport or a helicopter. So you're under incredible amount of pressure. And from a dog handling point of view, you've got to be really careful with that pressure because if you're bringing your stress levels up, your dog is going to know
yeah.
immediately. And Fjord knew, I mean, Fjord knew immediately, and you have to try and remain as calm as possible. And once that uniform goes on, that red uniform, I was like a bit
Mm,
like, not like Barbie. I used to have a uniform for ski patrol, a uniform for fire brigade, uniform for,
yeah.
it's kind of changing uniforms, but Fjord had the capacity, or dogs do have the capacity to know whether it's sounds or visions, or once they know a uniform's on, they know
Yeah.
exactly what they're going to do. Um, and yeah, you go into that situation, and you, to be really very honest, and I
Yeah.
smile to this day because I'm back with another team, not doing avalanche rescue, but I'm back with ski rescue. And there's always going to be dynamics which are
Yeah.
tricky, should we say. And when
Yeah.
you're going in for that avalanche, you've just got to put everything to the side, and there's no way. I don't know if you don't get on with Jean-Paul or whatever his name is, or Julie,
Yeah.
that you've just got to do it. You've just got to do it to actually get the result at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's what is very, very complex.
Oh, I
It's
bet.
not just the mission, it's
Yeah.
actually communication with people who potentially you you don't really want to spend time with. But hey,
Yeah.
but yeah, and knowing that you've got someone's lives in your
Yeah.
hands, so to speak. Yeah.
And and so how in the world do
Mm,
you um take that situation where you
mm,
know you've got people now, do you as teams, do
mm.
you know each other really well, or do they just come together and you've just got to kind of get to know each other super fast? How does that work?
I mean, you train throughout the year. I mean, dog team, we're
Okay.
about 7, 8 dog handlers, and you're training throughout the year. But there are some stuff which I won't go into, which happened in my team, which was pretty toxic. And this is
Okay.
the irony of it all: is you're actually there to help people, but you're actually not helping each other by certain
Right.
behavioural traits.
Yes.
So you do train, so you do understand how other people react. And I'd say a lot of the time you've got to be very, very open-minded and very kind
Mm,
towards your other teammates because we all react differently under stress and
yeah.
pressure. And coming together as a fusional team takes so much tweaking. It
Yeah.
just doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Now I'm in a resort whereby I've been pushed together in a team for a certain sector, and I'm getting to know everyone, how they function slowly but surely. And then the old politics are coming up all the time. And I kind of like, yeah, I don't think at the end of the day my work's going to be any better from being, in this kind of
Right.
mindset. So
Hmm.
I kind of step to be functioning. Sometimes you need to clear the noise. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
very, very, very complex. Fascinating. I mean, fascinating. That's why I'm going further into the whole yeah, side of things.
Exactly. Because there are teams that you're now expanding your capacity. Thank you for doing this work. So moving into other teams, not just around the ski community, let's say, but you're taking your skill set that you've developed and learned and
Mm,
showing how people
mm,
can succeed in teams when there is such a disconnect amongst and
mm, mm,
between
mm,
all
mm,
the
mm,
players, right?
mm, yeah. And I mean, it's not just in the rescue world. I think it's in any team. Hence my really, really kind of motivated to develop the Avalanche simulation clinics because it can actually help teams kind of take off the kind of superficial side of potentially what you might get in a closed office environment and bring out
Right,
potentially the worst, but the best at the same time. So sometimes
right.
it takes a while you have to expose areas which are not working and work on them, That's life.
Exactly.
So yeah,
It's
yeah, it's
it, with the concept of understanding that what you want to do is betterment for all
mm,
and the
mm,
bottom line at the end of the day, right? So in order to do
yeah,
that, you have to create exposure to things that people wouldn't normally be exposed to. But like we talked about in the intro, it brings up the natural tendencies of individuals so that they come to the
mm,
forefront. And then you can,
yeah,
okay,
mm,
here's the real
exactly.
behind the pretty, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And there's another element which I am very, very focused, and I feel that there's an element which we need to look a lot harder at is psychological safety within teams, because there's a lot
Mm,
of elements whereby people won't, whether it's to do with pride or whether ego, they won't say they're not doing well. So if there's a team are working on a project
yeah.
and you might know, I mean, it's about having a buddy, having a person who checks in on you. So in the
Uh-huh.
emergency services, we can get fallout, a couple of days, a couple of weeks, even a couple of months later, where things will hit us
Yeah.
in the face, so to speak. And I think the same thing can occur in business or any other type of groups,
Yeah.
whereby someone's not doing too well, and sometimes people won't even know. Well, they'll probably potentially notice small traits of behaviour which have changed.
Right.
So I think going and put yourself in a stressful situation. Maybe
Yeah.
because I've done it all my life and I do love it. I do love it to an extent, but I think it brings out that side of people which can then be worked on, whereas you're never going to get that, during a
Right.
normal team building kind of activity out in the
Right.
forest, paintballing or whatever you want to do. So yeah.
Right. Right. Right.
Mm,
So this is the next level of
mm,
team
mm, mm,
interaction that
mm, mm,
really uncovers truths in order to be
mm.
able to come together in a different way, right?
Yeah, 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 for
Yeah,
sure, for sure. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So when you look back across your years in avalanche rescue, let's say,
hmm
what did the mountains teach you about people that no training ever could have?
mm. The mountains have always taught me that it's about having respect for that
Mm.
environment. I call her she, the mountains for me.
Yeah.
She's incredibly beautiful, but she's got a bit of a mischievous side to her. And if you don't respect all the signs,
Hmm.
which have been provided to you on a daily or hourly basis, she'll trip you up. But
Hmm.
then at the end of the day, it's not her fault, it's our fault because we've been given everything. And I've seen it on a weekly, luckily, but a regular basis. And for example, in the
Yeah.
Alps, people are given all the signs to kind of keep away from certain areas, or they're advised not to go somewhere, and they will go back. And yeah, so for me, it's respect and recognizing and opening our eyes. And also, we talk about gut instinct a lot of the time, and people say, "Oh, you don't go
Yes.
in gut instinct," but the second brain. And I am a person whereby I realize that when I things start ringing big, big red bells in my head, it's because my knowledge, which I've acquired through the years, has actually given me
Mm,
that kind of intelligence to know that something is not quite right.
mm.
And it's then to step back. Because you can end up playing a game of roulette.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
might not go, but it might go in the way we're talking about avalanches. But so yeah,
Yeah.
as I say, and respect is a big thing,
Yeah. Thank you
big
for
thing.
those words because what I heard really loud and clear, which really resonated
Mm,
with me, is when those red flags go up, you step
mm,
back. I
yeah.
think
Mm,
our natural propensity is to go in and resolve. Whether you're
mm,
talking
mm,
about, oh, there's a challenge, I need to meet that challenge, right? But
mm,
to
mm,
step back and show that respect. So we're talking about mountain, but I can see this clearly aligning
mm,
with
mm,
teams and people and self. Our show
mm,
is about for you, by you, because of you. When you get that second brain that Caroline
mm,
just so eloquently spoke about in the gut,
mm,
we as women in midlife years are, I think, taking more time to step back and
mm,
go, wait a minute. No need to rush to
mm,
get this done. What's being told to me right now? What
mm.
is happening? What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And ironically, the human nature is to go towards. I mean, if you have an accident on the road, people will naturally stare towards it.
Right?
So we're
Yes.
drawn towards this whole sort of disaster kind of. We're drawn towards
Mm.
things which are red.
Yeah.
Um, and it's kind of also this whole, I say, see again in the mountains, a lot of people will say, oh, and we actually had the case of this, it was actually a very sad case of an avalanche where a 14-year-old child remained under. He had a GoPro, so it filmed all his, well, the
Mm.
whole thing. And the whole thing was, oh yeah, we go here every year. We go to the same place. It's the same slope we go on. It's outside of the resort, but there's always tracks. Tracks are there. They're fine. They've got through. So again, you're playing you're playing with a very high risk
Yeah.
level. So it's about evaluating what you have in front of you, and there's always another day, isn't there? So
Hmm.
yeah, it's yeah, and I mean again, there's loads of stories like that. So as we
Yeah.
say, the red, sit back and
Yeah.
enjoy the color.
Right?
So
I love that. Yes.
red's
Yes.
great. I love red.
Yeah. Take your
Yeah.
time. Take your time. There is no rush to a finish line, right? Yeah.
No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no.
No, no.
It's and I mean the rescue service again, it's all about self-preservation. So we're never going to put ourselves at risk because someone else has taken a risk which could put us in danger. So yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
So, what role do team dynamics then play in strengthening outcomes versus creating destruction? Like, how can leaders actively shape that difference going into strengthening outcomes versus creating destructions? Because milliseconds can make that
mm,
go this way or
mm,
that way, can it? Right?
mm. Again, I'd say a lot of the time it's actually having this a global view over your team, as in checking in on everyone
Right.
and realizing that every person is I call it a unity, a kind of micro unit within a team.
Yes.
And if you're not checking in on everyone, leadership is very subtle. A leadership, as we it's like teamship now, it's not about barking orders. Whereas I come from a very old school team where all it was about barking orders. bullying, actually,
Mm,
harassment, to try and get a result, which actually it backfired on them because the results didn't occur. And whether that's result of their personality, which I think was the case, but it's if you take care with the team, you take time with the team, and also if you give that team time to breathe and also say, I need some time out, your team
mm,
will be even more productive because they will want to actually work harder. And they'll
mm-hmm.
work harder when they're actually in a optimal stage or phase in the project.
Right.
So as I say, it's very, very subtle. I think a good leader is someone who will sit on the sideline, so to speak, and you probably won't even know they're there.
Mm,
They're kind of like that guardian angel, I would say. They're
right.
guardian angel.
Okay.
They're looking after their flock. They're bringing their flock together to be an effective team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and also a leader should be able to be someone who you go in and you can ask them, you can sit down, have a chat with them about stuff which you don't understand or you're feeling threatened by. They should be
Right.
very, very open. Um,
Right.
in different cultures, it's different. For example,
Of
in France, it's all
course.
very much the leader is the person you're polite to them, you vous verrez,
Right.
and I think the linguistic side of things can actually make more barriers in the long run.
Right.
Whereas in Anglo-Saxon kind of environment, we'll say you, and there's be less kind of stigma attached speaking to the CEO or the person of the
Right.
company.
Right.
And I think that's where I got things wrong in the fire brigade because I used to go straight to the the big
Yeah.
boss if I was upset with something because I thought I needed to, and I
Right.
was, kind of my hands kind of Caroline, you shouldn't have done that. You should have followed the procedure, go to see the sergeant who then goes to see the colonel and who goes to see the major. And it's just like, so yeah,
Right.
leadership for me is like a finely tuned instrument.
Mm-hmm.
It takes time to finely tune the leader and then the team
Right.
on top.
Right. Right.
But if that time is taken and that emotional intelligence is there,
Mm-hmm.
that's the other thing.
Right. Yeah.
We can have a very effective, very well, healthy, functioning team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally. You
Mm,
mentioned communication earlier on in
mm,
terms
mm,
of
mm,
being vital. Is that a big proponent of what you're speaking of? I mean, what you just shared in
mm,
terms of the nope,
mm,
you did the wrong thing. You didn't go direct and had you don't do that
mm,
here. You do A,
mm,
B,
mm,
C,
mm,
and then it goes up the ladder.
mm, 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 mm.
That to me indicates that that's something that is in need of, I'm going to say repair, because
Yeah.
people aren't
Mm,
feeling safe to be able to say things that need
mm,
to be said. And communication is about listening
mm.
and receiving and not just barking orders, but
Yeah.
listening to understand, right? Is that a
Mm,
piece that
mm,
you
mm.
feel is important in teams and in leaders?
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of it can be cultural, but communication, as we know, the words. I mean, communication, the spoken word is what, 7%.
Right.
And it's about how,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the communication is also what you're doing. And again, I'll bring it even down to the communication I have with my dog, or my dog. I
Yep.
still have a dog to this day.
Sure.
Um, it has to be so finite and tuned in a way that you're both interacting in a way which is going to bring a good result. And I think we can learn a lot from human versus canine communication. And
Yeah.
the irony of it all is in this team I was in, the person who liked to bark,
Yeah.
he had a series of dogs which didn't really work very well
Mm,
because he tried to dominate his dogs constantly. And when you try and dominate a dog, especially a certain breed of dog, a
hmm.
Malinois, a Belgian Shepherd, you can end up with very, very
Oh yeah.
opposite temperament and opposite behavioural traits.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's good to follow procedures. Procedures are there to keep us safe
Of
in the
course.
mountain, and they're there to make sure that the project or the mission goes through. But then you need to be able to adapt, and you need to be able to adapt
Right.
to how you're communicating with people.
Right.
So yeah, It's a great learning experience for me, being in that team for 10 years. But I'm very grateful that I'm no longer there.
Right. Yeah. And it was time, right? It was
Yeah,
time. There
it was
were other
time to
things.
destiny kind of pulled me another way, and I'm out of
Yeah.
it now. And yeah, it's good to be able to take everything which I've learned because despite, as we say, when you go through negative, not particularly nice experiences, they are also a moment of growth,
Yeah.
which does
Yeah.
make you, obviously stronger, but it also helps you move forward and actually help others. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
so yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I know for me, a lot of the things that I share and talk about with clients and when I do, different events and whatnot is about the idea around leadership of self and
Yeah.
how important it is, as you spoke about, that gut brain that tells you, wait a minute. We get to
Mm,
listen to those pieces and nobody gets to tell us otherwise. It's up to us to
mm,
be able to know who we are as individuals. And I have my experience has always been those leaders that I've had throughout my career prior to doing what I do now in education.
mm,
Um, the leaders that I absolutely adored were very knowledgeable about who they were, and they were
mm,
also very, I'm going to say communicative in
mm,
their presence, not
mm.
just in
Yeah.
their words. They didn't just stand, they weren't the sage on the stage. They were genuine, right? They were who
Mm,
they were, whether they were at the front of the stage for the opening address or whether they were coming into your school or whatever. They just
mm,
were solid human beings, good people,
mm,
um,
mm,
who took time, right?
mm. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah,
Yeah, time is precious, and it's taking that time to give that time to people
yeah,
and to actually be approachable.
right,
Um, so I think that's another aspect. You don't feel that you can approach someone. That's when things start, the barriers start coming up.
right.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's some good leaders. Funny how we imagine leaders always to be these kind of the posture of someone standing there and kind of shouting. And I'm not going to name one in particular person, um,
yep, yep,
and
yep,
yeah,
yeah.
around the world.
Hmm.
And it's the ones in behind the scenes which make things help things flow,
Right.
very subtly, but in a very, I'd say, as I said before, emotionally intelligent way. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
for sure. And I mean, I'll give you an
D
example with my dog. I just
Yeah,
sorry to cut you. To give an example of my dog. I used to be accused of being too soft with him, and I had to put a bed in the cage, and they were like, "Oh no, no, it's a working dog. He needs to be in a hard." And I was just like thinking, well, how about you sleep on the floor tonight? Are you going to work well in the morning? And she's like,
right?
yes, but he's a working dog, and you're too soft. And I said, well, why does my dog work? Oh, he works well because he just has it in him. I was like, well, no, that's not the case. A dog handler, brings out the best or the worst in their dog. So,
Totally.
yeah,
I
it's again
I
about we call them maître chien in French, which is dog, master. That's you
okay. Yeah.
translate it as.
Okay.
And we're not mastering a dog at all. We
Yeah.
shouldn't be mastering a dog. As I say, it's a
Yeah.
team. We should be working together in a
Right.
fusional, effective, gentle, loving way.
Right.
So yeah. Mm,
Right.
yeah.
And
The softy
uh,
Caroline here.
yeah, really, like really, Caroline, really? Gee
Yeah,
whiz.
it's like I
It's
know.
in, but you're to your point. Well, how does my dog perform? Oh, it's a great dog.
Mm, mm,
It is a great
mm,
dog. And I see
mm,
that and I know that and I love him for that because
mm,
he's giving me as much as I'm able to give back to him,
mm,
right? It's
mm,
that dual relationship. So,
mm.
yeah. Isn't that interesting? I love how you talk too about dogs know. Animals
Yeah.
know people. They know the energy. Horses know the energy. They
Mm,
just have that seventh, eighth sense, whatever it might be. Um,
mm.
and so, how long have you had Fjord?
Fjord I had for 10 years. He's no longer with me now. He
Okay,
died just
okay.
before lockdown.
Oh,
So yeah, quite sad. He collapsed prior to just after an avalanche training. He got bored in the UK. I couldn't train him in the UK because the English teams are like, no, 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 your qualification's not valid here in England. So
oh,
yeah, he got bored, ate socks, and ended up hurting himself inside. So he was with me
oh.
for, he died when he was 9.
Okay,
But I now have another dog.
okay.
And she's a female. And up until last year, I think it was last year, the year before, no female avalanche dogs were allowed in France. It was only males.
Hmm. Okay.
So anyway,
We're
yeah,
gonna
there
let
was an
that
avalanche
sit.
that went. Yeah, yeah. Historically, I think there was an avalanche that went wrong, and as a result, they decided to ban the weaker or whatever the element which would have put the males off their work. So when I took my female, I knew she couldn't be an avalanche dog. Now they've allowed to have females, but it's too late. She's too old now to do it.
Okay,
So I've
yeah.
trained her in something else. I've trained her in bed bug detection, so
Oh,
she
wow.
could detect bed bugs. Just wanted to give it something to do,
Yeah,
and it's either yeah, trailing or
right.
drugs or
Yeah,
explosives, and those are the kind of things I can't just get hold of down the road. So I thought,
right. Yeah.
get hold of bed bugs.
Yeah. There you go. Pretty
So
consistent
yeah,
opportunities. Oh, dear.
decide to keep her healthy mentally and
Yeah.
keep me knowing that she's doing something. She's gone got a bit of a purpose, in her life.
Yeah,
So
for
not a dog
sure.
needs a purpose, but they are
Yeah,
animals at the end of the day who like to go out and hunt and be in a pack.
of
So yeah.
course.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
mm,
You're being true to their nature, which is key. I mean, yeah,
mm,
totally, totally what you're about in terms of giving support to the animals that you love.
mm,
Amazing.
mm.
Is there anything that you would love to leave our audience with? It's been such an incredible opportunity to share this space and time and conversation with you, Caroline. Such a gift to have met you. I'm so honored for this time. Is there
Thank you.
anything
No, I'm
that
very
you
honored
would,
to.
yeah, anything you'd love to share with the audience as we wrap up our conversation today?
I would, and this might sound a bit strange, but I would say that, my communication with my dogs is probably the most finite and beautiful kind of relationship I have. And I would, again, with all the work I do, which is predominantly in teams, is kindness, and
Yeah.
respect, towards your fellow members. You might not like them as a
Mhm.
person. We not, we come into the world with the people we don't like.
Right.
But you've got to be gentle with people because, we all have to live on the planet together, all
Yeah.
work in teams together. And there's so much stuff going on in the world now
Mm,
that I think a little bit of kindness and love and care towards every person, not that it's always easy in stressful situations.
mhm.
Is to just try your best. And again, if you're on ski slopes, you're out there skiing, skiing, is just to turn around and be respectful for others. I mean, the other day I got
Right.
shouted at quite badly by some clients, and I was just like, I ended up crying. I went back up to my ski patrol hut and I cried. So yeah, we're all there trying to
Yeah.
do what we're doing in life. So kindness and respect are my
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
go-tos for sure.
And thank you for that. And I think when my experience has been when that doesn't come naturally for
Mm,
individuals, the way that my former behavior resource teacher brain works is that there's
mm,
something within them that is
mm,
hurting that they can't see the value of
mm,
being
mm,
kind. They can't even
mm,
be kind to themselves, so they push it out and give it to
mm,
everybody else, the disrespect.
mm,
That's the only
mm,
way
mm,
that I can reframe it in order to be
mm,
able to
mm,
hold it in a way that
mm.
doesn't affect me deeply, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
people,
Mm-hmm.
wow, we've got such an incredible breadth and depth of individuality. And
Mm,
what you just shared, I think, is missing. And it's almost like we have
mm,
to reteach it,
mm. Oh, definitely, definitely for
right?
sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how unfortunate. So I'm so glad that you have the relationship that you have with your animals to be able to
Mm,
hold that anchor in a way that
mm,
is non-negotiable and it's
mm,
unconditional. So thank you
mm.
for being that light to help guide teams in ways that they need to experience so that they can really put the rubber to the road and understand who they are as individuals to bring a team aspect together that is successful. And I love the idea of your simulation. That sounds amazing. Look
Come
at
and
you.
come and bury you in a hole. Come over to the Alps. I mean, I can. There's any resort in the North America who'd like me to come and bring me on board. I'm open for it.
Yeah,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
be a mix of that, pushing people in holes, but also a
Yeah.
bit of cold water, pushing you out your depths, basically. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Such
mm.
an interesting way to go about it. And thank you for bringing it forward today in our conversation. We will
No,
have
thank you.
ways
Mhm.
to connect with Caroline in the show notes. So make sure you go and check the show notes. Caroline, thank you again for your
No, thank you.
time and your expertise. I love it. It's been such a pleasure to get to know you a little bit further.
Thank you so much for your time and yeah, it's just wonderful. It's very, very energizing for me to speak to someone like yourself. So thank you.
Thank you. If you have had something, I'm going to say trigger, not the best
Mm.
word to use, but that's what's coming forward. So I'm using it. If you've had something trigger or set inside of you from our conversation today, make sure that you tap back in. That red flag came up. Step back. Don't jump forward. Step back, take that space and pause. Check out the show notes, find Caroline, and make sure that you share, follow, like our show so that other people can find us. Have a great day, everyone, and we are going to continue to thrive after 45.